Hello and welcome along to round 1 of ETGT League Season 5, the Audi DTM Cup. We are here at the Daytona International Speedway. We were last here in Season 1 where we ran a night race with the V8 Challenge cars. Those cars were Group 3 cars. We're here with Group 2 machinery and the Audi DTM car. So let's have a closer look at the car that all the drivers will be running this season in this spec series. So it's got just over 600 horsepower, it's got 650 newton meters of torque, and it weighs just under 1 ton, 986 kilograms, and with a ton of downforce. The car also features DRS, the drag reduction system, on the rear wing there. This is the fastest car that the ETGT League drivers have ever had the opportunity to race with, and there'll be pit stops just like in Season 4 for the races this season. Medium and soft tyres are on offer, but there is no obligation to run both compounds. So last season there was a time limit for each race, it was 30 minutes, and this season we've gone back to a lap counter. Each race will be around 100 kilometers in length, and it's estimated they'll be roughly around 30 minutes each once again the races. So let's have a look at the calendar. So we're starting the season off here in the United States at Daytona, in the middle of the day, scorching Florida sun. We then fly to Japan and Australia, get all the flyaways out of the way in the first half of the season, and then we head back to Europe for the back half of the season in the car's home territory, with the season finale in Monza. So the drivers have to navigate 18 laps around this Daytona circuit. They'll have the medium and soft tyres on offer. It'll be interesting to see which strategies the drivers go for. And speaking of the drivers, some of them have been busy alongside their teams launching this season's cars and liveries. Let's have a look at a few of them right now. So first up was Chris Padajak and Sicko Martini Racing. Martini coming on to sponsor Sicko Motorsport. What a great looking livery that is. There's a striking red, different from the usual green that Chris Padajak runs. So there's quite a bit of history between Martini and Padajak. They go way back to Padajak's formative years in racing. Here's the press release from Sicko Motorsport. And next up we got last season's championship winners Nick Pfaff and Pfaff Motorsports dressing the Audi up in a BP livery for this season. Nick Pfaff will be looking for back-to-back championships, and here's the press release from the man himself. And here we got Team 53 with Peter Dongo and Trent Fuller teaming up to launch their livery. One of them was in Watkins Glen and the other here in Melbourne, Australia. And here's the press release from team owner driver Peter Dongo. And here we see footage of Solomon Thackeray driving out of the garage in the Fezzer Racing Team Audi. It's dressed up to look like an Audi Works Team livery. You see photos here of the car. Beautiful looking livery for Solomon and the Fezzer Racing Team. And a short but sweet press release there from the driver. Bring on Season 5. And here we have Colin Racing Team with Mitchell Colin and Blake Williamson teaming up once again. And here's the press release from Colin Racing Team. They'll definitely be looking to take out the team's championship here in Season 5. And the final team to officially unveil their livery is Fast EV Racing with Harsha Hossor at the wheel. Made his debut in ETGT League last season, and he is certainly ready to go again this season. So just a quick recap on the upcoming season before we get things going here in Daytona. The Audi DTM Cup, all the drivers will be using the same car. DRS will be available to use, medium and soft tyres with no compulsory compounds, and there will be a drivers and teams championship on offer. So the drivers are ready and lined up on the grid. We're about to join them now for the grid walk, which is presented by Insane Grunt Photography. They take care of all the photography here at ETGT League. Make sure to check out the photos here at the end of the broadcast. Let's head down to the grid now for the grid walk. We're down here on the grid at the Daytona International Raceway. The drivers have completed the first qualifying session for the season. So let's see where they all line up here on the grid for round one. And in pole position, his first pole position in ETGT League, it's Jeremy Crow for PC Racing, car 104 on the front row of the grid. It's got the Vodafone livery on the car with the chrome finish, kind of blinding me here on the grid, but let's see what he can do. On the front row of the grid, he starts ahead of last season's champion returning to the grid, Nick Fafatalis. He also brings along with him the number one. First time on the grid, we have a returning champion and number one here in ETGT League. Faf Motorsports running BP livery here on the grid. So he starts, well, he's on the front row. We'll see what he can do here. Last season's champion in a good position to start this season's campaign. And in third place on the grid, after making his debut at the last round in season 4, it's Chung Ernest from Hong Kong, car number 86. He's lost all his sponsorship, but it hasn't stopped him from coming here on the grid here at Daytona with Project B, the team name. So we'll see what he can do in third position. It's a great start there for Chung Ernest. He starts ahead of Mark Pacheco, car number 773, and the other driver for PC Racing, also rocking the Vodafone livery with the chrome finish here. So we'll see what Mark Pacheco can do on the second row of the grid here. PC Racing in a good position to start the season well. So they're ahead of these guys, Colin Racing Team, looking sharp on the grid here on row 3. So in fifth position, we've got Mitchell Collin, car number 95. You can see he's got number 30 on the helmet there inside the car. But yeah, car number 95 in fifth position. He starts ahead of his teammate, Blake Williamson, also driving for Colin Racing Team. He's in sixth place on the grid. His car number 747 is rocking the orange helmet there. You can see through the car. The Colin Racing Team is starting ahead of Sicko Martini Racing, Chris Padajak and Sicko Motorsports, teaming up with Martini for some major sponsorship, title sponsorship here at Sicko Motorsports. Chris Padajak starting in 7th place though. It's further down the grid than he would usually like, but it's a sharp looking car number 90, Sicko Martini Racing. They start ahead of Fezza Racing Team, the Solomon Factory, starting in 8th place, car number 21. We've got the factory Audi backing and sponsorship here, it looks like. It's a good looking livery that Solomon is running. We'll see what he can do on the grid here. Car number 21, starting at 8th and ahead of Christian Vargas, who makes his ETGT League debut in 9th position on the grid. The Colombian driver just making it to the grid here, but no sponsorship, he's barely got any paint. The car number 24. See if he can score points here on his debut race here at Daytona. He starts ahead of Team 53 and Peter Dongo, who starts in 10th position, car number 53, and Team 53 returning to the grid here in Daytona. So we'll see what Peter Dongo can do. Starting in 10th place, he's ahead of his teammate Trent Fuller, second driver for Team 53, car number 5, will start in 11th place here at Daytona. He's a big fan of this track, it's Trent Fuller. We'll see if he can score some points here for Team 53, and he's starting ahead of Harsha Hossor, who's returning to the ETGT grid after making his debut last season at Brands Hatch. He also raced at Bathurst. We haven't seen him since, but he's here on the grid, car number 25, and Harsha Hossor. So he'll start in 12th place here at Daytona. And that's how they all line up here on the grid for the start of the Audi DTM Cup. We'll take you back up to the commentary box now. We can catch all the action. The lights are counting down here at the Daytona International Circuit as we await the start of ETGT League Season 5, and the Audi DTM cars are off the grid. And Chris Padajak there, he's gone past Mitchell Collin, one of the Colin Racing Team cars, as Jeremy Crow leads the pack ahead of Leo
Tung Ernest got the second place. He's got the head of Nick Pfaff. Well, Nick Pfaff's trying to take the position back. He goes around the outside of third one. And Chris Padgeck's up the fourth and all. 2 cars going wide there. Mark Pacheco is going wide. You see the cars go through the infield section. Oh, and yeah, there goes Mark Pacheco. He's cutting some grass. As we see him returning back to the circuit as we watch the Sicko Martini racing car, Chris Padgeck. Oh, and Leo's got a bit wide. And there's your top 3, top 4. The pack coming through the infield section. Jeremy Crow in first place, Nick Pfaff in second, Leo Ernest in third. Oh, Richard Collins up to fourth place there. He's got the head of Chris Padgeck. Oh, and Christian Vargas, he's shoved through. Blake Williamson, he's down on the grass, and that's unfortunate for him. And now Fez is in the back too. I think something's happened to him there. So Blake Williamson down in 11th. Peter Dongo in 10th position. Oh, and Mike Pacheco, he's keeping control of the car. Still dealing with the dirty tyres there as he is now in last position. You just see the cars go through the bank section of the circuit. Trent Fuller ahead of Boosted Blake. Oh, sorry, that is Peter Dongo ahead of Boosted Blake. Here's Trent Fuller behind. Harsha Hossor is in 7th position. And Christian Vargas now up to 6th place. Oh, he's got a penalty though. Christian Vargas making his debut here in ETGT League. Got a penalty. I was watching these two guys side by side, Chris Padgeck and Richard Collins. Oh, and here's the pack coming through to complete lap 1. What a beautiful shot there. So, Jeremy Crow in first place, Nick Pfaff in second, and Leo Chung Ernest still in third. And Richard Collins keeps 4th position ahead of Chris Padgeck in the Sicko Martini racing car, battling with Colin Racing Team. Oh, look at that! Trent Fuller, he's almost ahead there of Harsha Hossor, who's now up to 6th place. Christian Vargas had the penalty there. Now Harsha Hossor, he's made his debut last season in the ETGT League, and now he's back here in the Audi DTM Cup. Ahead of Trent Fuller in 7th. Mr. Blake moving his way back up the circuit. He's got a purple sector there as he tries to recover from Christian Vargas, absolutely shoving his way through the grid. Look at this though. Nick Pfaff is now in first position with Leo in second place. Jeremy Crow, something's happened with him. He's, I think like his teammate, he's sort of losing control of the car there. I think he went off in the infield section, that's what we're hearing. Leo Ernest now up to 2nd position for the Project B racing squad. Look, he's got a purple sector there. So it's absolutely flying. There we go, Nick Pfaff in first. And the Colin Racing Team and Sicko Motorsport car still at it. Right on board here with Chris Padgeck. As he gets behind the Colin Racing Team car, he'll have his DRS on. You see he's activated. He just can't quite get past. Because Richard Collin will also have his DRS on. As soon as Chris gets out of the slipstream, the drag hits and he's got nowhere to go. So they're on lap 3 now. Right on board from through the first corner. No, he's held back a bit. These two have some history here at Daytona. Last time we were here was back in season 1 with the V8 Challenge and the V8 powered Group 3 cars. These Group 2 cars are quite a bit faster, quite a bit more of a challenge for the drivers. So Jeremy Crow still in third place. Nick Pfaff still in first. We'll have a look and see what the drivers are wearing in terms of tyres on the cars. So there we go, the medium tyres there on Nick Pfaff, and Leo Ernest getting his pace out of the softs. And Jeremy Crow, 3rd place. Let's see what happened to him. Going to lose 1st place there. He's got the purple sector though, so he'll be chasing the leaders. Mitchell Collin on the mediums, ahead of Chris Padgeck, who's on the softs. That's why he's hounding down the Colin Racing Team driver. Oh, it looks like he's close here though. Is this going to be enough to get past the side by side as they go into the bus stop chicane section? Surely this is enough now. Oh, that's tight. Oh, look, he's just behind there. It's getting close between the guys at the front there too. So Mitchell Collin and Chris Padgeck, nothing in it. Although Mitchell Collin on the mediums, to say he's doing a lot better. Chris should be well ahead of him on the faster tyre. Still in the top 5 position though. Oh, is he going to be in a better position to overtake now? into the first turn. He's got the inside line. Oh, there we go. Jessica Martini racing up to 4th place ahead of Colin Racing Team. Oh, that was tight. Did they touch? Did Chris outbrake himself? No damage on the cars. So Mr. Blake's now up to 6th place. He's on the softs, so he's making use of the faster tyre. You can see the rear is starting to wear very quickly though. Oh, and who's that? That's Trent Fuller out on the oh, there we go, Christian Vargas as well. You can hear the cars and the tyres squealing. Well, there's Team 53 out on the circuit. So Trent Fuller, he's got a bit of damage. I wonder if someone hit him or he just hit the fence. So he's on the soft tyres though, so he'll pit soon. And Peter Dongo as well on the softs, although his tyre wear is not as bad as some of the others. And Solomon, who we heard went off the track in the first lap, he's now up to 7th on the softs. He's got the DRS open and he's chasing Booster Blake. So there's a beautiful livery there, almost like an Audi factory colour scheme for car 21 in Solomon factory. So he'll be pitting soon as well because he's on the softs. So is Booster Blake. So all these guys are on the softs. And Christian Vargas there on the mediums. He's got no damage on the car. Pasha Hossel does though. Something's happened to him. He's down in 11th. He's got damage on the front. Wonder if he hit Trent. Because Trent's got damage in the rear. Harshaw, damage on the front. And then it's Mark Pacheco. He's well behind. He's having a terrible race there. Look at that. I wonder if he's pitted already and put the mediums on. I'll have to double check that and see. He's so far down that I think that's what's happened. He's got medium tyres on there. Yeah, he's put the fuel in the car. Maybe he had damage as well. Oh, so let's go back up to the front. We're on lap 5. Now Jeremy Crow has passed Chung Ernest. Although Chung Ernest is still on the faster tyre, he'll be still on the softs. There you go. And this battle is still going on between Richard Collin and Chris Badajak. Chris Badajak cannot find a way past, can he? Let's ride on board with the Sicko Martini car. Oh, he's going to get a good exit out of here now, surely. Oh, but so's Richard Collin. Well, Richard Collin feeling good in these cars, and he's not that far behind the guys ahead. So a podium as well within his reach. I see as soon as Chris gets out of the slipstream. Oh, sort of touched a bit there as they head down the back straight. And he still hasn't got quite enough speed to get past Richard Collin. I wonder if an undercut or an overcut. Well, they're on different tyres though. So Richard Collin making good use of the mediums. Let's see what Chris Badajak can do. So he's in a Colin Racing Team sandwich now. With Blake Williamson just behind him. So, see we know what all the drivers are on. Get back up to the front, see if... Oh, we'll run on board Chris Badajak. What is he going to do to try and get past? He's not going to get it done doing that, it seems. But he gets a good exit out of that complex. The soft tyres are still working well for him. I think he's just going to have to stay behind Mitch Collin for now. Oh, and Mitchell Collin went a little bit wide there. Is this an opportunity perhaps? You see Mitchell Collin, he did touch the grass with his rear left. And no. Doing well there to keep the car on the track and in front of Chris Badajak. So Booster Blake still catching up to the pack. And yeah, he's got Fezza still behind him. So we're approaching halfway through the race. It's 100-kilometre races these this season. It's 18 laps for this particular circuit, so lap 9 will be halfway. It's Peter Dongo there, up to 8th. Still hasn't pitted yet. He's in the points paying position though, ahead of Christian Vargas. Oh, thought he was going to slide the car out a bit there, but all good for the debut ETGT League debut driver. He's ahead of Trent Fuller, who's 10th. Score 1 point there if he stays there. Though he's got Harsha Hossel just behind him. He's right on board with the fast EV racing driver. Looks like he's got much more speed compared to Trent Fuller. almost like Trent Fuller's not using DRS. Oh, and there we go. We've got pit stops happening now with Leo Ernest pitting from what was the third position behind Jeremy Crow as we watch Harsha Hossa navigate the complex, bus stop complex. Ooh, Booster Blake is pitting now too. And there we go. Chung Ernest is pitting. You can see his team changing the tyres, putting fuel in the car. So he'll be putting the medium tyres on. He started on the softs. Fuel, and off he goes. And there we go. Booster Blake gets serviced now as well. See the the orange ovals for Blake Williamson, and off he goes. Blake Williamson out on the medium tyres. So he comes out ahead of Christian Vargas. There's a beautiful shot there of the circuit. There's Christian Vargas. Oh, and Christian having a bit of trouble there with the tyres as he comes out of the hairpin. And there's Harsha Hossa out of the pits. Not out of the pits, out of the hairpin. There's Trent Fuller in the pits. He's putting the soft tyres on the car. No, he's got the medium tyres on the car, so he started on the softs. Mark Pacheco still in last place. He starts lap 7. Let's go back to the front. Nick Pfaff in first place ahead of Jeremy Crow. Yes, so it's these two well ahead of, well, these two. These two still nothing separating him on the track. I wonder if Richard Collin will have any extra pace on the softs. I wonder if these two will have the same pace when they switch tyres. That would be an interesting race. So Chris Padgeck's going to pit first, surely. Look, he's actually side by side as we go down the main straight. He's going to try again, surely. Just run lap 8. Podium position for these two. Richard Collins still in first place. Chris Padgeck just can't get ahead for some reason. He's trying all his might. And just watch Fezar coming through. Catching up. And there's Leo. He's done his pit stop. So we'll see what lap times he can pull. And where he'll finish. He was in third. And there's Booster Blake just behind him there as well. So he's pitted as well. So Booster Blake will be looking to catch up and potentially pass Leo Ernest. As we got Harsha Hossa. He's passed Trent Fuller. So Trent Fuller's pitted there. So we can see the gap. And we're getting reports that Peter Dongo is actually retired from the race. He's just parked his car down the down towards the bank section of the circuit on lap 7. We'll have a close look at that after the race. But yeah, Peter Dongo, no more. So there's only 11 runners in the race. With Nick Pfaff here in first position. Right aboard with your season 4 champion, Nick Pfaff. He's got number 1 on the car. The first time number 1's been shown in ETGT League. And he's here in first position and he starts lap 9. He hasn't got fast enough in the race yet, but he has started on the mediums. So when he puts the softs on, which will be, well, at some point. Oh, and Chris Padgeck, he is pitted. Chris Padgeck, Sicko Martini Racing, waiting for their driver. And the same here with Fezar, Solomon Factory. So here we go. Sicko Martini Racing, servicing their driver. They'll take the softs off and they'll put the mediums on. See what he can do with those tyres in his battle with Mitchell Collin. And there we go, he's got the fuel in the car and out he goes. So he's coming out just behind, is it Leo Ernest? Yes. It's a great shot there of the pack. And he's got Boosted Blake just behind him there. So he's in between the battle of Boosted Blake and Leo Ernest. And he's got Fezar there in 7th place going through the hairpin. Christian Vargas just behind him there as well. And Harsha Hossa just behind him in 9th position. And Trent Fuller a ways back. Oh, and Harsha being harsh on his rear tyres there. Let's go back up to Chris Padgeck. Oh, he's got a bit wide there. He's trying to warm the tyres up. So Mr. Blake Williamson, his tyres will be warm. So he's catching up now to Chris Padgeck. We're right on board with him. Right on board Boosted Blake has got orange ovals on in the Collin Racing Team car. So he's chasing down Chris Padgeck for 5th position. The booster Blake would have been a bit further ahead if he didn't get shoved. Oh, and your leaders are now pitting. See, every time we get a good on board here through the bus stop chicane section, we get pit stops. Let's go back up now to the pit stops. Oh, they're all pitting, so the top 3 are now pitting. So you got FAF Motorsports waiting for their driver. PC Racing, their driver's coming in. Tyres, fuel being serviced, and Colin Racing Team there waiting for their driver as well. So Nick Faf's there. The BP livery car getting serviced. Jeremy Crow's still in the pits. Okay, they're both out now. So they're both pretty close on the circuit. We'll see where they come out. Oh, they're pretty much neck and neck there. So Jeremy Crow's now just behind Nick Faf. Well, Mitchell Collin. So he's put the got the soft tyres on now too. Oh, and Chris Patajak's just come out ahead of him. Look at that. Okay, so look at that. Mitchell Collin now just behind Chris Patajak. You got Leo Ernest there in the distance. You can see him. Oh, and he wasn't able to. So Chris Patajak actually made the undercut work there. He's got the tyres warm, even though they're the mediums. Oh, and oh, look at that. Chris Patajak's gone wide. Mitchell Collin's gone wide. Sorry, Chris Patajak's braking a little bit late and showing him, no, you're not overtaking here. So they'll still be fighting it over. 4th and 5th with Blake Williamson also in the mix in 6th place. Let's go back up to the front. We'll see how close these two are. Oh, and Jeremy Crow really cutting it fine there on the bus stop chicane. So he's now in 2nd position. Leo there in 3rd. Ooh, and Chris Patajak, he's also cutting it fine there. So you've got 3 cars there. Chris Patajak, Mitchell Collin, and Booster Blake. Colin Racing Team livery. Looking sharp on the Audis here at Daytona as they chase down the Sicko Martini racing car. There it is, 4th, 5th and 6th. These cars have got some speed. We'll get a stat update on the car in a lap or two. See what tyres everyone's running. Everyone's done their pit stops. What the fuel situation's like. Oh, and it looks like Richard Collins starting to catch up a bit now. The new soft tyres working a bit better as he warms them up. He's chasing down the Sicko Martini car up ahead. It's pretty close between all these drivers. I'll just switch now on board to Mr. Blake Williamson as he watches his teammate chase down the Sicko Martini racing car. Oh, look at that. I think Richard Collins got a pretty decent exit out of that turn. Yeah, look at that. Richard Collins looking for a way past on the inside as we head through the banked corner. So we're well past the halfway distance of the race. The race will take about 35 minutes or so. Right up 11 out of 18. Head back up to the front. Oh, there's your leaders. Faf cut a little bit of grass there. There's a couple of seconds between them, but I'll have a look and see what tyres and fuel everyone's doing. So they're medium tyres there actually for Faf. So he started. Oh, he did start on the mediums, didn't he? Okay, so maybe he's going to stop another time. He's going to have to, isn't he, to comply with the regulations. Birdman, Jeremy Crow on the mediums, chasing down BP livery FAF Motorsports car. So Leo Ernest, he pitted early. He was one of the first to pit. He was on softs, he's on the mediums. He'll make it to the end. He's gonna try to finish ahead of, oh, look at that, Colin Racing Team and Chris Patajak. Oh, they're going side by side through that hairpin. There's nothing separating these guys. Look at this. Richard Collin on the soft tyres there, as you can see. See, now the roles are reversed. Richard Collin now behind Chris Patajak, who was on the mediums, as Richard Collin was in the first stint. Now he's hounding down the Sicko Motorsports driver, looking for a way past. Right on board with him again. There we go, Sicko Martini Racing on the rear wing there of car number 90. Oh, they're both losing time to Leo Ernest, who's just ahead in 3rd. The podium is there for the taking. They can just chase him down. Okay, so Mitchell Collins getting a fast. Oh, look, he's got the inside there. Surely he's got it now. Mitchell Collins there well ahead of. You can see Chris Padjack in the mirrors there. But Chris Padjack is going to get a decent slipstream now. Oh, and he's made it through the corner pretty quickly as well. So riding on board of the Sicko Motorsport driver. Yeah, see? Oh, they're going to go side by side now. Or is this the same thing that happened in the first stint? No, there you go, see? And where's Booster Blake? So Booster Blake's a little bit behind this. Oh no, Chris Padjack's still sticking there next to the Colin Racing Team car. Oh, he's braking really deep now. He really wants that position. He's gone too far. It's too deep. Richard Collins will keep 4th position as we start lap 13. So those two should work together to try and chase down Leo Ernest. Richard Collins, I think, went a little bit wide there. Oh, Booster Blake's definitely gone wide. Oh, he's spun the car. Let's allow Fezzer to come on, go past. And there you go. They're riding on board with Solomon. So we go through the infield section. He's kept it clean and kept it to himself all race. And now he finds himself in 6th position on the soft tyres and ahead of Booster Blake. So he's only just behind now. Chris Padjack, you can see him up ahead, who's on the slower tyre. We'll see what Solomon can do here. He can score some good points as we close in on the final stages of the race. As we watch Fezz's Audi go through the banked section on the soft tyres. There's a beautiful shot there. The lake, the car, there's Booster Blake. So Christian Vargas quite a ways down. He's in 8th position though, and he will score points on his debut if he finishes there. He's on the mediums. He's done well to keep it in the points despite a bit of argy-bargy in the first stint of the race, or the first lap even. Medium tyres is Harsha Hossa. He was running up as high as 6th, I think, at one point in the race, and a bit of damage at the front, some paint scrapage, but he's in the points, he's in 9th, and he's ahead of the PC Racing car with Marco Checo, who was cutting grass early on in the race. We saw him coming up to the first hairpin. Yeah, he was well off, and I think he struggled with the tyres and the warm-up of the tyres early on. And oh look, Trent Fuller in 11th and out of the points. He's copping the blue flags. The blue Team 53 car copping the blue flags. He's also on the medium tyres, and yeah, he's got the Colin Racing Team and Chris Padjack battle just behind him there. So we'll head back up to the front. And Nick Pfaff is still only just ahead of Jeremy Crow. Look at that, Jeremy Crow's actually not that far behind. We actually think Nick Pfaff might still have to pit, but oh, maybe I forgot, and he was on the soft in the first stint of the race. Ooh, Nick Pfaff taking a little bit of a different line there to Jeremy Crow. I think Jeremy Crow, no, see, he's not that much slower. He's only just behind him. He was in pole position for the first round of this season. There'll be 9 races this season here for the Audi DTM Cup. Spec Series racing for the first time since season 3, where we had the Porsche GT4 Cup. These German cars. Oh, look at that! Oh, Jeremy Crow hit the barrier. Oh, he's lost a lot of time there now. Oh, he's hit the wall. Saw him hit the wall. I don't know if he's copped any damage. Has Jeremy Crow got any damage? He does. Jeremy Crow's got damage on the front left of the car. We'll definitely have to look at that one on the replay. Oh, that's unfortunate there. He was not that far behind Nick Pfaff. 4 laps to go, including this one. Oh, and look at that, Mitchell Collins now past Leo. Okay, so Mitchell Collins has passed Leo. Alright, so he's now up to 3rd place. And Chris Padjack, he's not that far behind this battle as well. So Leo's tyres are starting to fade. But then we've got Mitchell Collins as well, so they're about the same on the soft compound. He's getting that DRS open early. Right on board with Chung Ernest. Did a bit of a sandwich with the Sicko Motorsport driver just behind him. And then you've got Richard Collin just ahead of him. Okay, so as we go through the bus stop chicane, there'll be 3 laps after this one. Well, you can see Leo's tyres on the rear there. Actually pretty awful. Excuse my language there. The Richard Collin. Yeah, his tyres aren't the best either though. He's right on board with him through to the main straight. Oh, and there's a beautiful shot there. Chris Padajak side by side with Leo as they go on to start lap 16. Oh, and is Leo going to keep the position? Yes, Leo keeps the position. So now you got Chris Padajak in 5th. Oh no, but he's still side by side with Leo. Oh, look at that. I guess Chris Padajak just behind. Oh, he's going to pass Leo there. Look at that. All right, so you've got the overtake done. Now you can chase down Richard Collins in 3rd place. This is all for 3rd position here at the Daytona road course. So Richard Collins in 3rd place. And you got Leo in 4th and Chris Padajak in 5th. Fez is still chasing these guys. Oh, but his tyres, look at that. His tyres going to last another 2 laps. So Boosted Blake just behind him. He's definitely going to catch. Now, his tyres are running a bit lean there too. So everyone's going to struggle as we get to the end of the race. And there we go. Fez's rear right tyre is gone. See if he can last another 2 laps. Just double check with the leaders here. Okay, so Nick Pfaff in 1st place. He's all good there in 1st position. Jeremy Crow, if he didn't hit the wall, he didn't cop damage. The damage hasn't hampered him too much. Yeah, he's keeping as well as he can, but what could have been for him? There's some Richard Collin there in 3rd place. His tyres, they're going to go off, but so is Chris Padajak's. So's Leo's. Alright, so everyone's tyres are going to go off. We're in a situation here as we head into the final 2 laps of the race. And this is the closest battle on the circuit, and probably the most important one. Battle for 3rd. One of these 3 drivers is going to get it. Then we've got 2 drivers just behind them though. Not that far behind this pack. There's Fezza. Solomon's in 6th. He's got Blake Williamson just behind him in 7th. And just behind them, no, not just behind them, it did look like one on the map. You've got Christian Vargas from way behind. He's probably a pit stop behind that pack. But in 8th position, and he's going to score points, is the number 24 car. If he keeps it there, the Colombian driver is starting lap 17 here at the Daytona road course, making his debut, ETGT League. And here we go. So, what's going to happen here? Richard Collin in 3rd. Chris Padajak is getting close. Not enough for a slipstream, but if Mitchell Collin goes a bit wide or maybe even gets a penalty, he'll be there to make use of it. So go through the bus stop chicane for the 2nd last time, and that was a bit wide there for Chris Padajak. Oh, he's got a penalty! The Sicko Martini Racing driver has a penalty, and he's going to serve it pretty much straight away, so that's going to allow Chung Ernest to move up to 4th place. He's going to capitalise on that. Okay, there we go. So Chris Padajak slowing down, and there he goes. Chung Ernest moves up to 4th place as one of the final lap here. This race has gone by really quickly, actually. We haven't even reached half an hour. The races last season were longer. Half an hour timed races, here with 100-kilometre races, and these fast Audi DTM cars. Nick Pfaff is still in the lead. He put it on the front road. He was in 2nd place, last season champion, car number 1. Pfaff Motorsports. He overtook Jeremy Crow on the track at some point early on in the race, and he's basically just led it from there. No troubles, no worries. It's quite a ways ahead of Jeremy Crow, actually, who's lost a little bit of ground as the race goes on and the damage that he's got. But still, 2nd place is well deserved for Jeremy and the PC Racing driver in that shiny Vodafone livery. So Mitchell Collin in 3rd place, he finds himself on the podium. best of the rest, almost, you could say, with this small battle between him, Leo, Chung Ernest, and Chris Padajak. Especially with Colin Racing Team versus Sicko Motorsport, that's a bit of a battle there. So Nick Pfaff is going to cross the line in first position. He starts off the season the best way he can as a winner here at Daytona International Road Course. He finishes in first place, and to cross the line in second place after putting on a pole position, Jeremy Crow for PC Racing in second place. He crosses the line. So Mitchell Collin will finish in third position, it looks like, ahead of Chung Ernest and Chris Padajak. These three crossing the line here. Third position, Colin Racing Team, Mitchell Collin, Chung Ernest and Chris Padajak, fourth and fifth. Project B and Super Martini Racing. And Solomon Tractor crossing the line in sixth position. That's a good result there for him there. Oh, look at that, Mr. Blake. Oh, is he run out of fuel? Or did he have a penalty? Oh, he's going really slow over the line there. But he crosses in seventh at least. I wonder what happened there. So Mr. Blake in seventh place, he had an eventful race. Finishes in seventh after getting shoved off the road early on by Christian Vargas and by this guy here, Christian Vargas making his debut in ETGT League. He'll finish in the points, 8th position. It's a good result there for the CBG racing driver, racing for himself here. So he crosses the line, 8th position, and Harsha Hossor. He's going to finish just ahead of Mark Pacheco, it looks like. Look at that, these two fighting till the end here. Harsha Hossor in 9th position, back in ETGT League and finishing in the points for Fast EV Racing, and Mark Pacheco across the line 10th, and Trent Fuller in 11th place. Here is Daytona.
And there we go. Round 1 done. First race of the season, and Nick Pfaff takes the victory in his BP liveried Pfaff Motorsports Audi on the top step of the podium for him, and Jeremy Crow in second place. He also takes the fastest lap of the race, and Mitchell Collin in third position there. Could have been him, Leo, or Chris Padajak at the end there. It was a good battle, but with Mitchell Collin, then Leo and Chris Padajak. And Solomon Factory in 6th position, keeping out of trouble and getting in the points. Blake Williamson in 7th place, finishes ahead of Christian Vargas, finishes in 8th position. It's a good result for him there. And Harsha Hossor on his return to ETGT League after debuting last season, he's in the points in 9th place. He finishes ahead of Mark Pacheco, who had a horrible race. He finishes down there in 10th position, ahead of Trent Fuller. He finishes ahead of his teammate, who didn't even finish the race, Peter Dongo, retiring on lap 7, 10:53. So let's have a look at some highlights now from the race.
So let's take a look at the race start here for Mark Pacheco. He gets off to a decent start. He was in 4th position. Chris Padajak overtakes him there, so he's now down to 5th. But Mitchell Collin just comes up from behind and slightly hits him into the first turn. Oh, Blake Williamson hits him a little bit as well. So Mark Pacheco goes a little bit wide there. And then as we're going through this complex here, Christian Vargas hits him on the side and Mark Pacheco goes wide and he cuts some grass, as you can see there. So let's watch the race start from Christian Vargas' perspective. So he gets a decent run through turn 1. And as he navigates his way through the next part, oh, there we go, that's where he goes side by side with Mark Pacheco. Oh, and he goes deep here too, and he almost outbrakes himself. He kind of hits Blake Williamson there a little bit. Blake Williamson comes back onto the circuit, but this is where Christian Vargas will again get into some trouble. Oh, he goes a little bit deep and he just taps Blake Williamson there. It's lap 2 and we're on board with the race leader at the time, Jeremy Crow. You can see he's ahead of Nick Pfaff, just behind him there. As we go through the infield section, Jeremy Crow just slightly outbrakes himself here. He goes a little bit wide, hits the grass ever so slightly. This allows Nick Pfaff and Chung Ernest to go through. So it's the start of lap 3 as we watch Blake Williamson get in a little bit deep there to overtake Harsha Hossor. He goes a little bit wide, so does Christian Vargas in the back there. So we're watching Harsha. Feza now overtaking him, so Harsha goes onto the grass. and then because of that, he probably struggles to slow down a bit. And Christian Vargas hits him with the rear, and Harsha Hotzel hits the tyre barriers. He gets himself back on the track. He would have got a bit of damage from that. As we take a look at this from the perspective of Christian Vargas, and oh yeah, struggles to slow down a little bit. Hits him, and yeah, into the barriers it goes. So as we start lap 15, we're riding on board with Jeremy Crow, and he just hits the tyre barriers that are near the pit lane entry exits of the race. Look at this. Oh, he just taps it. And he sustains a bit of damage, and that allows Nick Pfaff to get ahead and away in first place.
So that was a great way to start the season. Round 1 here at Daytona. There was action all throughout the field. You had a battle for the lead between Nick Pfaff and Jeremy Crow. You had Chung Ernest was early on in the mix as well. You had old mates Chris Padajak and Mitchell Collin fighting it out as well. There was action all throughout the field. You had Christian Vargas getting his elbows out as well. And PC Racing, unfortunately, with Mark Pacheco cutting grass early on, wasn't able to make his way through the field, but he still came to score points at the end of the day. Unlike Team 53, unfortunately, came away with no points here, with Peter Dongo not finishing the race, posting a DNF on lap 7, and Trent Fuller coming away with no points. He had a few incidents on track with some of the cars touching the grass and touching the dirty stuff, and I think maybe a couple of drivers getting penalties as well, especially at the last chicane there, just before they go onto the banked corner towards the end of the circuit. But overall, I think all the fans here will be leaving happy with the first round of ETGT League done for Season 5. So let's have a look at the driver standings now. And there's not much obviously to look at apart from the results that we just had. So we've got Nick Pfaff in first position, Jeremy Crow in second. He had the fastest lap and pole position as well. So that's what the red square is there. That's for pole position, and Mitchell Collin there in third place. And once again confirming that Team 53 down the bottom there, 11th and 12th position. So let's have a look at the team standing. And in first place we've got Pfaff Motorsports with 25 points, just ahead of Collin Racing Team with 21 points. We're just ahead of PC Racing Team with 19. I think there's going to be quite a big battle there throughout the season between the Collin Racing Team and the PC Racing Team guys. You've got Project B in 4th place, just ahead of Sicko Martini Racing in 5th. You've got the Fezza Racing Team with Solomon Factory running that one in 6th place. Christian Vargas and CVG Racing in 7th. Fast EV Racing and Harsha Hotzel in 8th. Team 53 in 9th place. So Jeremy Crow ended up with the fastest lap of the race. He did a 1 minute 38.918. We're going to bring you footage of the fastest lap, so sit back and enjoy this lap from Jeremy Crow around the Daytona International Circuit. So that was the fastest lap there from Jeremy Crow, doing it on lap 3, pretty early on in the race there. So we hope you enjoyed watching that fastest lap with all the telemetry to see what the drivers are doing, and we'll bring you that for every round this season. So Nick Pfaff will leave here in the lead of the championship and also the team's championship, which is impressive for a one car operation. We'll see how long he can keep up the fight in the team's championship with one car compared to Colin Racing Team and PC Racing. So the next couple of races we'll be heading to Japan. The next race will be at Fuji, and a race after that will be Tokyo Street Circuit race. So we're going to wrap things up here at Daytona, but we'll be back at the next round. Like I said, in Japan, it'll be at the Fuji International Speedway. It's our first visit there, ETGT League's first time at the circuit. Should be a good one. So we'll leave you with a bunch of photos from today's race, thanks to Insane Grunt Photography, and we'll see you guys at the next round. But until then, bye for now.